was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Candid Combos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. Man, what's good? Welcome back to Candid Convos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Man, welcome back. Man, if y'all haven't already, smash that like button for us. Likes are free, man. Smash that like button, man. Folks be fighting us on them likes, man. Smash that like button. I said, especially for all my YouTube folks out there, and also, man, my Facebook folks as well, man. Let's say once again, same things we gonna ask. Smash that like button, man. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that share so folks can see this content just like you, and also turn on the notifications so you know when we drop content. All right, do this real quick as we get into this conversation. All right, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through Apple device, come on through your Apple device, join us in the conversation. Like I said, we welcome all perspectives. So let's say bring it to the conversation, man. We want to hear from everybody, man. So here's the link. Like I said, you do got to throw your cam on at least to show you who you are. Show us who you are. Like I said, we got, trolls out here. So, you got to verify who you are first before we can let you up. But yeah, man, join us in this conversation, man. In addition to the video feed, we also have this link in the chat feed as well. So you can catch it at the Candid Convos page on YouTube or Facebook, where we are currently live right now. All right, let me see what we got checking in as we get into this conversation tonight. Let's see. Shout out to Victoria Williams in the building. She said, "Good evening, everyone. What's going on, Victoria? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. Always supporting what we do. Appreciate you." See Donovan in the building. He say, "Hey, let's see. Hey, what up, though? Happy Wednesday, fam. Happy Wednesday to you, brother. Appreciate you hopping on with us as well." See, shout out to the real one in the building. He said, "Hello, everyone. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you holding us down, man. It's one of my mods. So I said, definitely do what you do. Appreciate you." Let's see Kenyatta in the building. She said, "Happy Wednesday." What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you as well. Yeah, I needed you when I was posting earlier. I needed you, Kenyatta. There was a lot going on. A lot going on. Let's see Donovan. Say the trolling is real. Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. Let's say we get some trolls now, man. So yeah, it's interesting out here what goes on. Interesting out here. See, shout out to my guy Civil as well. He said, "Let's see everyone make sure to like the video." Yeah, man, appreciate that, man. I said, folks be fighting on them likes, man. Just hit the like button. It take a couple seconds. It take 1 second, man. Just press the like button while you're enjoying the video, enjoying the conversation. That's all we really asking out here. All right. So let me drop this link down. Y'all let us know if y'all need that link. I know folks be scared to get in on these conversations, but y'all let us know if y'all need that link. Hold on. Vince says, "Send me that link." Okay. Hold on, Vince. I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, see, somebody bought that business. He said send him that link. Somebody bought that business. Well, no, Vince, he part of the family. So yeah, I just sent it to you, Vince. Part of the family. So this is what we do on Candid Convos. I said every Wednesday night we get it in. All right. So I'm gonna let did we lose Cole? Oh, we might have lost Cole for a minute. Okay, we'll see if she popped back up.
Her connection, I think, wasn't stable.
Okay. It's all good. So yeah, I'll give her a minute to see if she pop back up. We can go ahead and drop this title. Let me see what we got back here. Maybe having to catch up. All right, topic for tonight. Are Black people useless in relationships? Let me run that back. Topic for tonight. Are Black people useless in relationships? Okay. Man, I see y'all coming with it tonight. Let me check in with my fellas real quick since they just hopped on. Beatboxer, Vince. I see JR just hopped on. What's going on, fellas? Come off mute. What's going on with y'all?
Hello.
Good.
Happy
How you
Wednesday.
doing? Happy Wednesday, man. Appreciate you hopping on. Beatboxer, what's going on, man? You good, man?
Yeah, I can't complain. It snowed again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got snow, and then we got a bunch of ice too. So that was rough. It was unfortunate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, we up here. It's like summertime up here, man. What you mean, Beatbox?
It's still cold for us. It'll get apparently near like this weekend's going to get to the 70s and 80s, but it snowed and iced all on the weekend. So
okay, I ain't mad. It is what it is. I know y'all can handle it, man. So I'm not. I know you got it under control, man.
Yeah, good. Wish me luck.
You got it.
Well, I said I know you about that business. Last time you said you had to pull out the garden shovel and get the chipping, man. So I know you about that work, man. All right, let me check in with Civil. Civil, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? A little bit warmer here. Dang, you're dealing with snow. I'm not even saying hate, man. I hope you're safe out there because it's cold out this way too. We're dealing with like 75 right now. It's vicious.
Wow, that sound rough. Okay, I appreciate it, Sim. I appreciate it. Let me check in with Cole real quick. I know she about to blow us all out the water. Cole, come on mute real fast.
Yes.
What's going on? What's the temperature down your way? What you doing down there?
70. I think it's like 70. Ish. So, 71.
71. Okay. All right. We hating. All right, cool. All right. I just wanted to check real fast. Let me now I see JR just hopped on. He always the one. JR, come off mute real fast, man.
Yes, hello. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, man. What's your weather doing? What you got going on over there?
Nah, we're good now. No more snow. It's pretty dry. Just no sun.
Okay. I ain't mad at that either. Okay, we're gonna leave that like that then. I guess I don't feel that bad. All right, cool. I just wanted to check in real fast. Okay, we're gonna get into this, man. We got some interesting videos, man. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. We got some interesting videos. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start right here with this cat right here. So tonight we talking our black people useless in relationships. All right, make sure I ain't missing nothing. Oh, okay, that was cold. My bad. Okay, let's see. Hold on, we got folks dropping. Hold on. See, Donovan said only the useless and inept are. Donovan, man, you be cracking me up, man. He also said 75 degrees ain't cold. No, Silver try to be funny, man. He did that to us that last time. See, Victoria said it was warm today. Yeah, no, we take what we can get. Yeah, we get up in the 50s, you know what I'm saying? The high 40s, we take what we can get up here. So it's all good. I'm not complaining as long as there ain't no snow on the ground. I'm good. All right, so let me go and get on into this, man. I'm still debating, man. You know what? I'm gonna let her get the first run. I'm gonna let her get
something very controversial. I believe her name is. This woman said something very controversial. I believe her name is Amira. She said basically that women are useless to men nowadays. Back in the day when men got married, women served some kind of value. She had purity, would be often loyal. She had a skill. She could mend clothes, cook lavish meals, make things from scratch. Nowadays, men can do those kind of things themselves. They don't really need women to do these things. What women bring nowadays is stress and bills. You have to pay for her lifestyle, cater to her needs, while she doesn't have to really bring anything at all. Ask her to bring something to the table is misogyny. And a lot of men agreed. They're like, I don't have anybody, but I broke up with my ex. My money went up. My stress went down. So it got me thinking, in general, what do women bring to men that doesn't add extra stress and bills to their lives? They say if a man wants to save money, he should stay single. If a woman wants to save money, she should get in a relationship. But what do you guys think?
I got problems with that video right there, but okay, y'all drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about what the young lady said. So I think her overall premise was somebody said that women are useless to men. Let me hold on. Let me go to the comments. Wait a minute. I know Donovan. Donovan, would you say spot on? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh my God!
All right, Donovan. We're gonna leave that right there. Let's see. Civil said dog crap advice. Yes, that's an interesting video. Let's see. Donovan said not all, but a vast majority are stressors. Okay. Victoria said, Yeah, I got some questions about that video too, but I'm gonna come back to the panel. I don't know. I feel like I got a hit. I don't know. This one got beatboxer written all over it. I don't know. Beatboxer, man. Well, I'm coming to you first on this, man. What's going on, man?
I will say my initial thoughts is I kind of agree. I mean, like nowadays, cooking and cleaning should just be a life skill. And I think a lot of guys, like in my generation, do that already. So a lot of men are going to ask, what else do I get? I mean, it's kind of the conversation we've had before. What do you bring to the table? And a lot of times, a lot of women bring nothing but what's between their legs. So I kind of agree with that. Now, if you run into a woman who's a decent person who does things for you other than look pretty and you have to pay for her and have sex with you, then that's great. But that's just not a lot of women out there. I'm sorry. I'm with Donovan. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Donovan. Can't believe it, but I agree with him. There's a lot of women only worth, no offense, ladies, $40. Shout out to Donovan.
Oh man. Okay, I appreciate that.
What y'all getting for $40?
The whole shebang, Coco, the whole thing.
What's she doing for $40? I mean, let me find out. What's she doing for $40?
I mean, you don't know because Coco,
No, because I thought the rate had went up.
Who told? Who's the? I mean, it's free, but if you want to go on the street, it's $40.
Wow.
That's
why I don't go outside. I go outdoors.
We're gonna leave that alone for a minute. We're gonna leave that alone for a minute.
Yeah, it's a weird place.
Let me get this comment real quick, then we'll come back to the panel and see. Victoria said, why did you get in a relationship if women don't bring anything to the table? That's a valid question, Victoria. Valid question. I'm gonna hold that. Let me hold that right there. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that for a minute. Hold that thought. All right, I'll come back to the panel. I'm coming straight over to Vince on this one. Vince, what's up on this, man?
I don't agree with that. I think that it starts with what the man is looking for, and is he intentional? If he is looking for a wife, then he's looking for a woman to start a family with, someone to marry, someone to be in covenant with. As far as what women bring to the table, a woman brings inspiration. A woman, just the right type of woman, is something that can't be replaced. And I think we're missing that because I think we're intentional about who we start these relationships with. We start these relationships based on sex. The guys starting them based on, ooh, she got a big booty, I want to hit. Chicks starting these relationships like, ooh, he got a little money, I want to go to Ruth's Chris. And then before you know it, you're 6 months, 8 months down the line, and now you're in a toxic relationship. And then here come the baby. And then now it's stressed out. That's how it usually happens. You be with somebody and it's like, well, I'm not doing nothing else, so I might as well. I think it's just the intention of it all.
Right.
And I think, and I do think, because we have lost our culture, you have to be more intentional. You can't just, back in the day, you could get with a woman and y'all have a few problems and you still can make it in a marriage. You still can make a life work, because you had those type of morals and that type of family values. But now, especially if you talk about the chick who talk about 50,000 a day, I know you're going to hit that one, Clay.
Man, I ain't grab it, man, but I saw that nonsense, man. I saw that nonsense, man.
Now I don't know what she bringing to the table.
But what's funny about that, man? Who was the little cat she was with?
Earn Your Leisure.
No, I know she was on Earn Your Leisure, but she was with Bow Wow, man. Bow Wow came back and said he got it for free. So he was like, I don't know what she's talking about.
She knew her worth.
Right. Right. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
No, that was because he elevated her worth. I told y'all about that.
Oh, well, that's okay. I understand. Yeah, no, that's true.
That's because he elevated her worth. I told y'all stop fooling around with these chicken heads, because all y'all do, if you got a little bit of something going on for yourself, is you give them value. You inflate their value. I told y'all that. She probably started acting like that after she got with Bow Wow.
That's valid. No, that's valid. That's valid. Okay, let me keep going. Let me come over here to Civil, man. What you think, man? Are women useless today to men?
I think a woman is and has always been worth her weight in salt. An actual woman is always going to help you multiply anything you have, whether that be your familial name, all the way down to turning that, that pile of sticks into an actual home. So this is actually one of those rare occasions where I don't agree with Beatboxer. And it actually might just come down to semantics, because I separate and categorize women completely separate from garden tools, which are even in themselves completely separate from the female dogs. So it gets a little sticky for me there, but ultimately I think that young woman is just somebody who's completely uninformed, more than likely has never seen a successful relationship, and can't really fathom the idea and the wealth that you can build with an actual partner. And a partner doesn't mean that they get to make decisions with you. It doesn't mean that they even are equal in terms of, the weight of the word in the relationship. However, when you're tired and you need your back rubbed, if you just want to sit and talk to somebody and bounce ideas off of them, that's what having a genuine woman is there and is good for. Anything outside of that is just fun, and in which case that serves a purpose as well. So even they got a reason to be, you know, to have a scratch to be itched or whatever, or reverse that. The one thing I will say, Coco, though, just because a woman elevates her own personal value based on somebody she was able to sleep with, that doesn't make a Chrysler 300 a Bentley. It still makes it a Chrysler 300 with some nice wheels. Just want to say that.
Tell the Chrysler that.
Oh man, yo.
We don't have to buy the Chrysler. We just ignore the Chrysler.
Right. And then the Chrysler's gonna say it's your problem. You don't see the value. It's your fault.
Great. Buy. Shit, I don't have to buy.
Just
I'll
saying.
buy.
Yeah, just rent it and return it when you're done. Simple as
What I'm
that.
saying, there y'all go.
Dang.
What I'm saying, there we go with the rent stuff now.
Creating trauma one body at a time.
Let me check in with I think I might need to hear from Cole on this one. Cole, are the women worthless today to the men?
I don't think so. I think a good woman is worth it. I think I agree with what Vince said. It's all about the man's intentions. I think it is based on what he is looking for, and not most of them may not be looking for nothing, to be honest. So that's the type of woman they get. But yeah, I think the real woman is worth it.
Okay. I ain't mad at that right there. I ain't mad at that. Let me check in with JR. JR, what you think, man? Are women worthless to men these days, or this person in this video, they just tripping? What you thinking?
No, I do believe if you do come across that woman, yeah, she's definitely worth her weight, you know, in gold, definitely. Like, hence why a man and a woman is supposed to be together. But just going off the video in terms of what she's saying, yeah, I can see what she's saying. She said it. I said it before when I asked Miss Coco the question, and it was men were useless and women were selfish. If anything, it's probably on the reverse now. Men are selfish and women are useless.
Okay, I see what you did right there. I see what you did. All right, let me check in with Coco. What you say on this, Coco?
I think that the situation is more nuanced than that, you know, and I think that that's proven by the differences of opinion. And I think what we all can agree on is a woman who knows her own value first is going to be valuable, because if she knows and understands her own personal value, she's going to carry herself as such. And when you do find a woman like that, I'm not talking about the women that we were, like the example of the woman that said you have to have a minimum of $60,000 to even, you know, date her. We're not talking about that kind of woman. We're talking about a woman who knows her own personal value, because that woman, like I said earlier, she's not going to be outside. She goes outdoors. It's a difference. You know, she carries herself a certain way. She's not going to allow any man into her space. And when she does allow a man into her space, you know, he is going to be with some intention. She's going to have intentions towards him, and she's going to demand respectfully and femininely, that's not a word, but anyway, I made it today. She's going to, you know, expect him to have certain standards as well, for her and for herself. And when you find a woman like that, she's invaluable. Like, that type of woman is invaluable. So I agree with Vince. Like, it does depend on the man's intentions first and foremost, because I personally believe that the men should be the ones selecting anyway. That's just my personal belief. I think you choose, and then the woman decides to choose you back. But I think that starts with the man, you know what I'm saying? I think that because you have to know what you're looking for as a man. You do, whether you believe it or not, you do assume the role of the leader. So you should definitely know what you want. You should definitely know what you're looking for. And you should definitely be intentional, because until you're intentional, why are we even talking about her value? Ooh, but that's a different conversation. Are women useless? The women who are the opposite of what I just described, yeah, I don't know what use a man would have for that type of woman. I mean, a woman that doesn't know her value, that doesn't have standards, that, you know, what, I don't know what type of use a man would have for a woman like that. I mean, just being honest, like what could she bring to his life, realistically speaking? So in that sense, I have to agree, but we're talking about a certain type of woman.
Right. No, that's real right there. I appreciate that. I'll just say this, man, and then we'll keep it moving, man. This is disappointing to hear. This is disappointing to hear. It's what it's telling me is we got a lot of bitter people out here. Yep, at the end of the day, a woman, you know, but I know we, you know, putting a little caveat, you know, a particular type of woman at, you know, at the end of the day, I get all of that, but a woman is definitely valuable to a man. Let me just keep it a bean. Yeah, this is why men are always going after women. A woman she has value to a man. Let's just keep it real. Yep. Now, is there levels to the value? That's a fact. There's definitely levels to the value. But to make this video and you know, and I don't think the young lady was saying it directly. She's, you know, saying that she'd seen it. It was part of a conversation, whatever, however she said it. But I don't like these narratives. Yeah, because we already know that there's a divide, you know, going on between us. So getting up here saying something like that, it's like that's crazy to me. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Unless any man that knows what he's looking at, knows what he's looking for and is serious about it, he's gonna find value in said woman, and said woman is gonna bring value to said man. Like it's really that simple. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy into the narrative that women out here just valueless. Like I'm not doing that. That'd be like saying all these dudes is bums. Like that's not accurate. Like we can't say that. But I'm starting to come to the realization, and I said, you know, man, some stuff I've seen today. Like I'm starting to realize that a lot of folks is bitter. Like they bitter out here. Like it gets to the point where they will say things and it's like it don't even make any sense. Yep, it don't even make any sense. Yep, they'll put labels on things that they don't understand. They'll speak on situations that they ain't never even had. Like it's a lot, it's a lot going on. And listen, I'm just learning. It's a lot of bitter people out here. We just don't know it. Yeah, they just move in silence. You think they cool. And then all it takes is for you to put something out there and then people get to respond and you like, oh man, like I never would have thought. Never would have thought it was you. Yeah, so that's really what I'm coming to the realization. I said it's just a lot of bitter people out here because I said at the end of the day, a lot of folks have wasted time. They've been out here playing with whack dudes, playing with whack females. You know, they've been in and out of these relationships. You know what I'm saying? They having children with people that they don't even truly like deep down inside. If we're going to be honest, don't even love them, but they was laying up and now there's a kid out, you know, that was produced out of that situation. Like it's a lot going on out here. And then because of that and the decisions that we make as we growing up and moving through life, then let's call it what it is. It turns us bitter. Yeah, but then it turns into I don't like men and the men is this. Then it turns into these women ain't got no value to men and all this. And it's like, you know, you lying. Yeah, you know, if you wasn't out here making bad decisions, you wouldn't feel like that. Yeah, you know, if you wouldn't have laid down with old girl or laid down with old boy and had that baby, knowing that you wanted to disconnect from them anyway, you wouldn't be out here now talking about dudes ain't ish and women ain't ish. You wouldn't even be talking like that. But we never want to hold ourselves accountable and admit we feel these types of ways because of the decisions we was making. Yeah, that's really where a lot of this comes from, but we don't want to own that. Yeah, we rather just point the finger. Oh, it was them. They did this to me. And it's just like, come on now, you gotta own that. We too old. Yeah, we too old, we too grown at this point. You gotta own it. So yeah, this bitter stuff is heavy out here. Like I said, and I see it in some of these videos, but like I said, people just not gonna be honest. Yeah, they're not gonna be honest about what's really going on and what kind of position they've put themselves in. Because that's the thing. You put yourself in a position, then because you don't want to own it or hold yourself accountable, now this is the response. Yep, now everybody you come in contact with got to feel that, they got to feel that heat now because you was over here clowning or because you was over here putting yourself in the situation. Now you all stressed out. Now everybody else is the problem. And it's just like, no, that's just not how that works. Yeah, you got to own your stuff. So yeah, that's what I hear from this video. Somebody bitter, because at the end of the day, I'm not even about to sit here and do that. Yeah, there are plenty of ladies out here bringing value to men, and I'm not even speaking just in relationships. Yeah, there's plenty of women out here bringing value to men. So we got to be honest about that. I can't subscribe no nonsense like that. But let me check these comments real quick. And we're gonna get right back to it. Victoria said, I mean, sometimes you have to date less to know you don't want that. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, sometimes you got to pause, get your mind right, make sure your vision is right, make sure your discernment is on point, then get back in the game. So now I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, but that's not typically what folks do. They just keep bouncing from person to person, hoping it's gonna get better. And it's like that the whole time they never really change themselves. Yeah, they just hoping somebody new gonna somehow, I guess make them feel better or something. But it's like you never really addressed yourself. Yeah, you never really held yourself accountable. Go ahead, Vince.
And another thing too, Quay, I think sometimes you stay too long at the party.
That too.
Once you know that person is not for you, most people don't leave them alone. Oh, well, I like the sex, or it's convenient, or they paying half the rent, or that's what I think a lot of the problem is. When you see someone that's not for you, it's hard for people to cut them loose, and then they bind it then, and then it's down the mountain.
Right.
From there.
Right. No, that's true. And the other caveat I will add to that, Vince, is sometimes in those situations, sometimes you got to cut it loose. Let's keep it a bean though. Sometimes you got to cut it loose because you the problem. Yeah, see, rarely do we talk about that. Yeah, see, people typically want to cut it loose because they're saying, oh, the other person, they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. But they never think about, am I not doing this and am I not doing that? Like they rarely ever think about that. It's always the other person. Oh, I had to lead them because they was this or they was moving too slow or he wasn't committing and all this and all that. But it's like, yeah, but was you really giving him a reason to commit? Is we gonna have that conversation? You see, I noticed, like I said, people, this not to you, Vince. It's just like I said, I had some stuff go on earlier, but it's just like I'm just noticing people, they don't look at themselves. They don't. Like it's always the other person. And I'm like, sometimes you can talk to some folks, man, and you be listening to them, and you like, man, you a whole problem. Like I can hear it in how you talking. You a whole problem, but you trying to convince me that he was the problem. Like, come on, man. So yeah, people just got to be honest, man. Like I said, we too grown at this point, and it can't always be the other person. If you on your fourth boyfriend or your fourth girlfriend talking about it's them, it's like, come on now, like it's not them. So yeah, we just got to be real. Yeah, I just had to add that little caveat. All right, let me keep going, man, because this. Well, let me get this comment. Then I'm gonna keep going. So Victoria said, yeah, I didn't see. Let's see, I didn't see I was a pro. Hold on, Victoria ain't about to wait a minute now. I feel some kind of something about to come out of the sea. Yeah, I didn't see I was a problem until I slowed down, stopped dating, structured my life, and looked back like, what the heck was wrong with me? Okay, I ain't mad at that, Victoria Williams. But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but at some point, we got to look at self. Like, we just don't ever want to do that. We always want to look at somebody else, and it's like it ain't always somebody else. Yeah, somebody might come into your situation trying to be genuine, like, hey, I see you, I see you a decent person. Let's partner up, see what we can do a little something. And it's like you ain't even ready for that person. Yeah, you're not ready for that person, and they end up messing that thing up. And then after you mess it up, then when it's like, yeah, he was wrong. You be like, what? So yeah, we got to get real out here with some of this stuff, man. All right, let me keep going. Where Beatbox at? I don't want him to leave. This little next video, boy, this one got me hot. Yeah, this one got me hot right here.
Like responsibility as a black man. I don't like responsibility as a black man in this country. I've never wanted to actually be in a position of leadership or responsibility in terms of being head of a household, being a husband, being a father. None of that has ever been a goal of mine. It's never really attracted me or seemed like an attractive reality. And as I get older and I just continue to watch the way in which our society progresses, how we treat certain things like children, how we treat women's rights, how we treat patriarchy, how we treat capitalism, how we treat all these different components of our society, and how things just seem to be getting absolutely worse and not better. And then how callous we are to so many things we deem as being outside of the norm. There's absolutely no way in which I would want to contribute new life to this system or otherwise build a family, build a unit that is now I'm responsible for, and it's dependent on me participating in this system for their survival. I'm good on all that. Thank you.
Ooh-wee. All right, Cole. I'm looking right at you. Cole. Go and get your last sip, because I'm looking right at you. So, Cole. So I know you heard what the gentleman just said. I know he tried to throw the little jazz on there, try to jazz it up, but he was saying some things. So I'm coming straight to you, Cole. Are you seeing that? So what this brother was just talking about and saying as a man, are you seeing that out here, or have you ran across dudes acting or moving like he was, like he was just moving?
So what I will say is I have not heard someone just straight out and say that, but if I'm looking at some people's actions, that's definitely what I see. At that point, you might as well just say it. I don't know why you just don't say it if that's what floats your boat. But my thing is, if that's how you feel, get out the way, and then stop causing trauma. While as well. So, I honestly, I feel like a lot of men in the community are like that, and they're not vocalizing it. And at this point, it would do people such a great service if you just openly said that. People wouldn't talk to you. People will leave you alone and leave you in the corner for what you are.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Okay, so this is a thing, because I said he sound interesting to me. Hearing him break it down like that. Okay. Well, I appreciate you giving that input right there. I'm about to come up to you, Mr. Beatboxer, next, because I need to understand. So Beatbox, I'm sure you heard that, man. What's give me your take on what he was saying.
You trying to say I'm going to agree with him? Huh?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to understand, because I think he was a younger fella, right? So like so I want to understand, like, what do you think? Where do you think he's coming from with that?
Yeah, I actually empathize. The world's changed very quickly. A lot of the stuff that used to be will never be again. I've said before, I don't think this is black people. I just don't think we care about children. I think our generation is doing things like trying to unpack childhood trauma and stuff that's gone on. Like, we're kind of figuring out, do I really want children? Before I met my wife, I didn't want children, actually. I didn't want any. I was like, I don't think I really want them. I don't want my children going through what I went through as a kid. So there's a lot of that. Also, something that JR's mentioned is it really worth it doing all this for women that don't really like you? Not really. You're dealing with a lot of rising cost, a lot more uncertainty, and it's kind of like, is it really worth doing all those things and then you get fucked in the end? No, I don't think I want to do that. So that's kind of what the younger millennials and Gen Zers are like kind of thinking, like, I don't want to do that. And I will say this, lastly, not everyone is marriage material. So that's got to be said. I know some people are, why wouldn't, no, I think we romanticize times past. People were forced to be together. Now the people don't have to be. So now we're going to see who people truly are. A lot of people don't really want to be together, and I think that's okay. But I do recall in the end, if you don't want to do that, do not screw the rest of everybody else up, right? Don't do that. Try to be out the way, do what you want to do with the other people that want to do what you want to do. But don't screw anybody else up who wants something different. This is my thoughts, though.
Okay, I appreciate that. Go ahead, Coco. It's on you.
I'm gonna ask a question. It's kind of rhetorical, and then I'm gonna respond. Do y'all think that young man who doesn't want, because he not only said he doesn't want to be responsible for a family, he doesn't want kids, but he also said he doesn't want to be a husband. He doesn't want the responsibility of it. Do you think he's still having sex?
Yeah, he is.
Probably very regularly.
That's what I don't like.
That's the part. That's why I say I think it's irresponsible. I agree with B-Boxer when he says, okay, if that's how you feel, then stay out the way. Like, as long as every woman that you entertain knows exactly where you coming from and understands that and has told you unequivocally that she is okay with that, then fine. Y'all grown. But if you haven't been completely honest and fully upfront with the fact that you'll never want that, you don't want it, then I have a problem with that. Because you're probably fooling with some chicks that one day want to be somebody's wife, one day want to have a kid. You know what I mean? But that's not even where you're at. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about the next thing that I'm about to say. But all I heard was, I don't want to be responsible. I'm irresponsible, and I want to continue to be irresponsible. I don't want to have to worry about nobody but myself. That's what I heard. He tried to put it over jazz music and pretty it up and use eloquent words and eloquent speech. But at the end of the day, it's giving lazy, irresponsible, and selfish, which I see from a lot of men in this generation. It is what it is. That's what I see. That's what's out there. That's what some of our young women are running up against. That's what's out there. I told y'all in the last show, I said, you got to first be able to lead yourself. You said you want to be a leader. That just already tells me the type of man you are. You're not even leading yourself. You don't want to lead. How responsible are you raising yourself? How well do you take care of yourself? And I'm not talking about going to the gym. So it's just like, you got to be willing to, it just doesn't look well. It doesn't sound good. I don't know where you thought you was going with that, but nobody is you don't have to be a husband. You don't have to have kids, but even the way you started that, by saying, I just don't want the responsibility of being you. Listen, words matter. Those were your words. I don't want the responsibility. Okay. That's what I find a lot with the youth. I just want to say this. We always talk about how much easier it was for our parents. Do you think it was easy for our parents when they came through? See, we say that, but we talk about looking back and romanticizing things. I think we do that a little bit. We look back and we think that it was so much easier for our parents, but we don't understand that at the time they were dealing with inflation too. At the time, they were dealing with all the economic issues that they were dealing with. See, we think that they had it better because it's worse now. But when they were coming through, they were saying, it's worse for me raising kids than it was for my parents. And then their parents were saying the same thing about the grandparents. Well, it wasn't as bad for you guys as it was for us. You see what I'm saying here? And we just keep going with this narrative that it was so much better for everybody else. That's a way to romanticize the past too. Because we're looking at it, comparing it to what we have, and we're saying, oh, it was just so much easier. We have no idea what it was like for them. No idea. Some of our parents went through a war. They went through a economic crash with kids, homes that were underwater. We have no idea what that was like, but we keep looking back saying it was so much easier. If our parents would have had this mindset, we wouldn't be here to complain about what they didn't do. Sometimes I think we're just so disrespectful. We're so disrespectful. We have no idea. Ain't no Gen Zer or no young millennial gonna cry poo-poo to me because I don't want to hear it. Dry your tears up, put your big boy drawers on. Everybody has something to deal with. Every generation has something to live through. Every generation has something to deal with. You talking about your childhood trauma, they had some too. We talking about children that came from straight descendants of, they were slaves. Some of us still have great grandparents that lived in the South through Jim Crow. And you talking about how hard it is for you and what it's like for you. Boo-hoo. Sometimes I just get sick of the complaining. It's giving that you're lazy. It's giving that you're selfish. You literally are alive because your parents was like, yeah, I know it's tough, it's rough, it's whatever, but we're going to have these kids. Y'all act like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go there. Y'all act like abortion didn't exist then. It did. It did. But they kept you. So it's like, it's just a little weird to me the way some of these people in this younger generation like to escape reality and like to escape and look. And I'm just sitting here talking and going off, and we must have a lot of young people like watching right now because I'm literally watching people log off. I'm gonna call it out because nobody wants to hear what the real is. Nobody really wants to take accountability. That's what I'm saying. Men, women, children, nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to hear what's really going on. Y'all don't want to hear it. That's okay. Going back to the video games.
No, that's real. That's real right there. I'm coming to you, Civil, but it's funny because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at that. And I'm like, as the conversation is getting real, I'm looking at the viewership drop off. And I'm like, that's just funny how that happens. Now, if I was on here tap dancing or me and Vince was on here fighting or something, everybody'd be locked in. But as soon as it get real, then it's like the viewership drops off. Like, it's funny. Like, it's just, I'm glad Coco said that because I'm looking at the same thing. I'm looking at the dashboard and I'm just like, what just happened? Like, it's the weirdest thing ever, man. But that's how people are these days, man. We in some different times. All right, Silver, go ahead, man.
If I was over here 300 pounds eating cheeseburger, French fries, scoffing down milkshakes and making all kind of weird noises in a microphone, y'all be locked in.
That's a fact. What they call it, ASMR or some stuff with the
locked in.
That's
wouldn't have to beg y'all to like the video. You wouldn't have to beg y'all to subscribe. We have 5 million subscribers.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, Sybil, what's on you, man? Go ahead, man.
So I'm actually going to take an opposing opinion here.
Go ahead.
I actually feel bad for the young man. Anybody that comes out and has that much just disdain for responsibility has never had a good example of it. And they don't understand that struggle does lead to like amazing rewards. And the thing that our parents and our parents' had back in the day was they had the gift of struggle. Struggle was so hard, you needed to couple up. You needed to do these things. You needed to have 9, 10, 12 kids to help take care of a homestead. And that struggle brought people closer together. Now we're so disjointed and disconnected. I mean, you can live by yourself and order food. You never really ever have to leave your house as long as you can generate some form of income. And that's just a major disservice to us as a people. And I don't mean just Black people. I mean Americans and as a whole. And a lot of the younger people of these upcoming generations are going to have a lot of the opinions that young man had because they don't have positive examples of relationships. And then whenever they log online, they see messages like that from him, or they see some women talking about finessing man. Or then you see some dude talking about, well, you got to get a 50 body count before you can decide to pick a woman. And it's like this red pill, this pink pill, this black pill, like all these different pills are just pills that take you away from what reality actually is. You get out there, you find somebody good for you, and y'all move on down the road. And unfortunately, like this disjointedness and this disconnectedness is leading us to literally run away from truth when we see it, which is why you see the people logging off when you talk about something real. And then whenever myself or Beatboxer is talking about it's okay to have as many women as you want, then you got people voting up, thumbs up, and liking that video because that's low vibration content. And anything higher than that frequency scares people off because then all of a sudden they got to look at themselves and they got to deal with what's real. So, I mean, I feel bad for that young man. And I hope once he actually gets enough information to change his opinion, it's not too late. And then like Coco says, hopefully he hasn't taken a bunch of women who think they can change him, go ahead and sour themselves on dudes. And then now, you know, they're either single mothers or they're just completely off put from men thinking that men ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's real right there. That's real. Yeah, that I said that byproduct is there. And I said for me, it's just based off our decisions that we make. You know, actually, let me check in with JR real quick before I say anything. JR, you want to say anything on this one? Or you good right now, man?
Yeah, everybody made some good points there. And yeah, it's a tough one, you know, because like I always say, both parties gotta be willing, you know, to come back together and like want to work it out so it makes sense, you know, so we can get to somewhere. But if ain't nobody trying to do that, then it's not gonna work. And of course, when guys speak and ladies speak, you know, there's that hatred, you know, between both parties and resentment kicks in. You know, I'm gonna play you, you're gonna play me. It is what it is. So yeah, I might take a chance, but I'm not really gonna put, you know, both feet in. I'm gonna keep one foot out. You know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's how it's gonna be. So from there, everybody's moving, you know, stepping on there, you know, on glass or whatever it is, and yeah, you're cutting each other because you don't. So yeah, you're cutting yourself because you don't trust each other, you know, and yeah, there might be many factors on whatever it is, right? And yeah, trauma, all that stuff. Yeah, we've all gone through it, but we gotta grow. We've got to grow, you know, and give each other grace, you know. Like, if we don't want to give each other grace, then what's the point? Because we can't coexist in this universe hating each other. Like, it's just not gonna work. Like,
right. Yeah, no, that's facts right there. Appreciate that. All right, Vince, man, what you where you at on this young fella, man, and what he had to say? Come off mute, man.
Oh no, I'm good on this one. I think Coco said. Yeah, I think Coco said it all.
Okay, I ain't mad at that, man. I ain't mad at that. I'm gonna keep it a buck though. I was disappointed with the brother. And the reason I'm saying that is because, man, we're gonna be doomed if we've gotten to a point where the fellas don't even want legacy anymore. Like, this brother's literally said he don't want no wife, he don't want no family, he don't want nobody dependent on him. He don't, basically, he just don't. Let me just keep it a bean. He just don't want to do man things. And I'm just like, man, where'd that come from? I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even think that was an option. I'm just like, come on now. I'm like, as a young fella, you growing up, you watching Pops, Granddaddy, Uncle, you know, you watching Unc. You know, you watching, you know, the neighbor across the street, you know what I'm saying, who was looking out for the young fellas and all that. Like, you watching these men around you, you know what I'm saying, with their families and, you know, their wives and, you know what I'm saying, they over here, you know, let's just call it what it is, low-key mentoring, you know what I'm saying, young fellas in the neighborhood. I know we didn't call it mentoring, but y'all know what I mean. But it's like you watching them and you like, man, you know, one day that's going to be me. I'm going to have my family, you know what I'm saying, have me a wife, You know, I'm gonna have my son, my daughter, they're gonna look up to me, pops, what should I do? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got the answer for you, young fella. Like, that was something that you looked forward to as a young boy growing into a teenager and into a man. And I'm like, to get to the point now, and it's like I said, it's not just him. We got ladies saying the same thing. Let me just keep it a bean. They don't want to be women. They want to have the perks of being a woman, but they don't actually want to move like women move. Yeah, so we got women saying it. We got men, you know what I'm saying? We got men saying it. Yep, I don't want to have no responsibilities. I don't want to do man things. I don't want to do woman things. I just want to, I guess, just exist and I guess shop and catch flights. And I guess that's what life looks like. Just be a consumer. Like, I guess that's what we saying, because what else would you be doing but consuming and spending, basically? Yeah, so it just makes no sense. But at the same time, while we saying that, then to Coco's point from earlier, then we still want to lay up with everybody. Yeah, this brother in this video, he's still gonna be laying up with females. You know, the young lady that says that she don't want to do things that women traditionally did because she's independent, she modern or whatever, she's still gonna be wanting to lay up with dudes. Yeah, it's the wildest thing. And I'm just like, how do y'all think that we got here? Or how do y'all, yeah, we would have never gotten here if that was the attitude back then. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think we realize how overly selfish we have become. Like, that's really, for me, at the root of it. Like, we just done became overly selfish. Yeah, and I'm just like, what do y'all think is going to happen as you take on this mindset that you don't want to be responsible for nobody? You don't want nobody depending on you. You don't want no legacy. You know, for the ladies, you don't want to cook nothing. You don't want to partner with no man. You don't want to be led by no man. You don't want to be controlled and all this. It's like, so how do y'all think all this is going to turn out? How you think it's going to turn out? I mean, I'm assuming y'all think it's going to be great. I guess maybe if y'all can catch all flights and go to y'all brunches and the fellas can be on their video games all day and catch their flights, I guess, and play basketball. I guess y'all think everything going to be great. I guess. But I'm here to tell y'all that's not how that's going to go. I'm just keeping it a buck. Because like I said during a previous conversation, we look at everything from the lens of everything is going to be great. Yeah, we never consider the negatives or the cons that will come up as you get older. Like, we never consider any of that. So yeah, like I said, I actually feel bad for the young fella. Yeah, because I'm like, for me, all I heard was he saying he don't want to do man things. Yeah, but I'm like, we don't. If the fellas take on that mindset, we gonna have a problem. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem. Yeah, because the reason why a lot of the stuff is here now, or a lot of the foundation is the structure. I love, some people like to say, the infrastructure. The reason why a lot of that is here because a lot of dudes is doing man things. Yeah, let me take it a step further. You know what I'm saying? Some of these industries that's tied to this, some of these, you know, these families and these foundational situations, a lot of that's here. Yeah, because there's some women that still do women things. So yeah, I don't understand how we think that we're gonna get away from doing man things and doing woman things and stuff just gonna keep going well. Like, I don't think folks are thinking. Like, I don't think they're thinking about that. That's not how that works. Yeah, we see what it looks like when we have a family and the man stops doing man things and the woman stops doing woman things. The family collapse. So what do y'all think gonna happen to the world? What you think gonna happen to the society? It would collapse. So yeah, man, we got to get our mind right, man. I said, some of these things that we taking on, we just don't understand how this stuff is gonna play out. Now, I will say this, and then I'll be done with it. I appreciate the young fella being honest. Yeah, I appreciate him being honest. but at the same time, he might need to consider how he's looking at things and what his perspective is on life. Taking on that perspective that he has, it's not going to play out how we think it's going to play out. And that's just real talk. All right, let me keep it moving, man. Get this comment right here. Hold on, I'm gonna come right back to that. Let's see. Shout out to the Real Black Lexicon in the building. What's going on? Which he said, let's see. In my humble observation, women learn the second part before most men. What's the second? Let me get this. Hold on. The second part is, what does building a family look like? So you say you think the women learn that before the men. Give me some context to that, Lexicon. Give me some context to that so I understand where you're going with that. Let's see. Civil said, let's see, young man needs some push. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a fact. Let's see. The Black Lexicon said those men aren't honest with themselves. They would rather stay single than let a woman build the family. So you think it's on he's taking a selfish position? Is that what you're saying? Almost like an ego bruise type of scenario? Let me know if that's where you're going with that, Black Lexicon. All right. So we I gotta see what else to go. Let me throw up the third one. Let me see what happens.
Hey ladies, I know some of y'all are not gonna like me when I say this, but I don't care. It needs to be said. I don't know why y'all are thinking y'all gonna find Prince Charming by dating men based off the shit that they can buy you and do for you. I don't know what part of the game that is or who told you you're gonna find a Prince Charming based off the shit that he can buy you. That's called a trick. You looking for a trick. And that's okay. Because tricks know that they're tricks. But they can spot a hoe from a mile away. So you can't pick and choose your poison. You can't want to be a wife trying to find a trick. Because he like hoes. And that's what you are if you're basing you liking a nigga or wanting to be with a nigga based off the shit that he can buy you. It don't work like that, sweetheart. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you start genuinely liking niggas for them, then maybe, just maybe, you could be a wife. If you had your own bag, that would be a major flex. Fucking a nigga that you like on your own terms. But in the meantime, in between times, you, my love, are a hoe.
Okay. Let's see. Victoria Williams said correct. Okay. All right, B-Box. I see you going through it up there, man. You must agree with the young lady, man. Come on off, man.
All right, 100%, 110%, 110. You modern dating has become transactional, and it's like women want to be escorts and wives at the same time. You got to pick a lane. You got to pick one. If it's gonna be transactional, then what that mouth do, right? Because that's what it's gonna be. I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna treat you with any respect other than you just being a human being. That's it. I don't care what you're talking about. And I think a lot of this also stems from women will date men they don't sexually desire. It's another problem. Women will do it. They'll get with men who will pay their bills, who will deal with them. But she's like, but I don't really like him like that. He don't get me wet, right? She'll break him off a couple of times. That's why I tell men all that stuff about, because I hear it, especially in red pill spaces, you get your money up, get your status up. They don't get women wet, brothers. I'm sorry to tell you that. Soft skills, hitting the gym, being able to hold a conversation, look at people in the eye, being masculine, and then some atavistic things too, like being tall, things that you can't control, right? But those are things that get women going. So get with women who desire you, not what you can do for them. You won't even, when you do that, all that 50-50 conversation, all the, you need to do this for me, all that stops. Women who dealing with Pookie typically don't ask him, are you going to pay the bill? Sometimes you're paying the homosexual, the whole caboodle for him because she desires him sexually. So do that first. No, it doesn't mean be a bum. Do what a man's supposed to do. But I agree 110%. Seriously, 110%. A lot of these ladies are walking around wanting it both ways. You can't have it both ways, like The Wire says. You can't do it both ways. You got to pick one. Pick a lane, baby girl.
Okay. Vince, I see you shaking your head too, man. What's up? What you say on that, man?
I think the problem is too is that these women don't know how to be wives, so they ain't seen no wives. I think that's more of a problem than anything else. More than race, is they haven't seen wives. They haven't seen husbands. A lot of them haven't seen fathers. So that's the problem. And I don't know if it can be fixed because it's a respect thing. And I always go back to, like, for me, for instance, I didn't have my father, but I had my grandparents, and they were very instrumental in my life. And was raised in the church with around family, so that's what I've seen. I've seen that work. You know, both of my grandparents had standing room only at their funeral. You know, we loved your grandparents. Your grandfather was such a good man. You know, I come down there and talk to him when I'm about to leave my wife, and he would tell me go back home. And your grandmother, you know, cooked us something when we was homeless, and just good family and foundation. So I always wanted that, even though I didn't sometimes know how to actually handle that. That's what I wanted. But I've seen people who be like, I ain't seen no marriage work. I don't know who my daddy is. I don't know who my granddaddy is. And my uncles ain't shit. First man I ever loved was some little 13-year-old boy was trying to dry hump me.
You ain't lying about that, man. You ain't lying. Yeah, no, you right about that.
I think that's what they don't know, how to peacefully cooperate with the man. They thinking he's gonna leave me like my daddy, so let me get as much as I can out of him.
So okay, so to that point, Vince. So then, my question to that would be: so then, why not just say that? Yeah, why not just say that? Because I said, going back to the video, the video before this with the young man that was talking about he don't want the responsibilities and all that. So the first thing that we said to him was, basically, if that's how you feel, then don't be out here messing with the chicks. Don't be laying up with the chicks doing all that if that's how you feel, right? So just pull yourself out the situation. Go and be in your corner by yourself and let the people that's intentional and serious, let them do what they do, right? So that's our response to him. But why don't we have that same response to these young ladies?
Because with him, he said he don't want to be a husband. He don't want to be a father. With these other women, they think they're actually good wives. They think I'm going to actually be a good wife. I haven't seen a wife, don't know nothing about a wife. And just because I went to school for nursing and I got a little paper and I got my education and I'm cute and I got a big booty, I want to be a wife. And then they get a husband and don't know how to treat him.
Right.
Or he get a wife and don't know how to treat her. I'm telling you, because I hear a lot about other women do this and other women do that. Well, other women, some of them came from marriage. And I bet you that's a big part of it. Was your wife, did your wife come from marriage? Yep. My wife came from marriage. B-Boxer, your wife come from marriage?
Yep. And most of her family.
Civil?
Yep.
At least some of them?
Yeah, quick one at least.
Over 50%? You got to think. I mean, it's sad, man. You go to these families, ain't no man around. No man. Y'all don't understand. This is a serious thing.
No, I understand.
So
but
I don't think it's gonna work.
But that's why I said, though, that's why I made the comparison to the brother in the video. That's why I said then these ladies need to fall back. So if they not genuinely, because this is the thing, I know people like aesthetics. Yeah, I know they like aesthetics. So I know a lot of ladies say, yeah, I want to be a wife, but they don't want to be a wife. They want to be a wife aesthetically. So they want to walk around with their diamond, You know, they want some dude to walk up and be like, hey, baby girl, let me get your number. And she be like, oh, I'm married. You know, they want to do that. They want to, you know, be the stay-at-home wife, you know, so they can be out here shopping and living the Real Housewife life and all, you know, Real Housewife Atlanta life and all that. But when I say wanting to be a wife, that involves some things. And that's typically the stuff that they don't want to do. So aesthetically, they want to be wives, but they don't really want to be wives. And that's why I said then in that case, why don't we give them that same response? Since you don't really want to be a wife, you only want to be a wife in aesthetics, then why don't you just get out the way and you go sit on the side. You go sit on the side with the young fella earlier who said he don't want to be no husband and no father and all that. Y'all go sit on the side by yourself. Y'all go play with each other. And then us intentional folks out here, let us do what we do. But see, that's not what's happening. See, we want the men that don't want to be husbands and fathers, we want them to go sit on the sideline. But then these women that don't truly want to be wives, then we want to just give them a pass and say, oh, she just looking for a trick. And it's like, no, she need to go sit on the sideline too. Because at the end of the day, she don't really want to be a wife. She don't want none of the responsibilities that comes with being a wife. Yeah, so that's the point, or that's the direction I'm going with it. It's like if we gonna have that, you know, if we gonna make those or have that structure or that requirement for the dudes who are saying that they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to really get out here and do man things, then we got to do the same thing for these young ladies that don't want to get out here and do woman things. Like we got to just keep it a bean. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying with it. Because I said it's like we giving passes, and it's just like the more these videos that I see and the more these conversations that I'm in, a lot of these women don't even want to be wives, man. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they want to be with some man. They want to be able to dictate how they want him to move and what they want him to do when they want him to do it. They want him to financially fund the operation. But then as soon as we flip it and say, okay, cool. So what are you going to do? How you going to wife? Then that's when it go quiet. That's when it turns into, that's when all that stuttering get to going and all of that. And they want a partner and all this other nonsense. So it's like, I know you didn't want to be no wife. Yeah, you didn't really want to be no wife from the beginning. Y'all just say that because that's what y'all quote unquote supposed to say, but that's not really what y'all want. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying with that, man. It's just like if we gonna put the onus on the fellas and say, hey, if you want to be out here bumming, then go sit off to the side and let these serious people do what they do, then that's gotta be on both sides. That's my position on that. Yeah, I'm like, I can't play sides. It's either it's all or nothing. Yeah, we ain't gonna be picking and choosing like that. That's how we got to this point where we at right now. All right, let me check in with the panel. I don't know if y'all want to say anything else. Coco, Beatbox, Civil, JR. JR, I saw you come off. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, now with the point that you just made, right? I think that's like one of the biggest gripes that the young men of today are having, right? Which is like the onus has to constantly have to be on the men to act right, whereas women have a choice whether they want to or not. And I would say, yeah, men aren't perfect. We know this. But like I said, it's always like, yeah, the man. Yeah, we understand, yeah, the men, yeah, we gotta do right. We understand what the older men are asking the younger men to do. We understand what's being asked. But all we're saying is like, hey, we know what you're saying, yeah, do this, but we're saying, but you see on the other side, yeah, they ain't trying to listen. That's the issue that we're having. We're not saying, hey, we're trying to go to them and speak to them and we even ready. No, we're not saying that. We're saying it's so broken between both parties, but let's come and let's try and figure it out. And by figuring it out, let's have the conversation. It's like, now, what are you going to do in terms of improving? And what are you going to do in terms of improving? Okay, that makes sense. Let's see if it can work. That's all we're saying. We're not saying, hey, you're to blame or you're to blame. All we're saying is it's constantly on the men to be like, oh, you should fix it. But it's like, yeah, okay, we're willing to fix it. But if the other party don't want to listen, what can we do? But of course, I get the other side, which is why engage and make the situation worse. Does that make sense? So I get that. I've put that point as well.
Okay, no, I appreciate that right there. Where is Oh, go ahead, Coco.
I was just gonna say this is for the men, right? Like, do y'all think that do y'all believe that all women right now are in that particular headspace? That all women have gotten to the point where they don't want to listen, they don't want to, come back inside, they don't want to compromise, they don't want to negotiate. Are you guys at the point where you're saying that that's the situation for all women? Like all women are in that particular headspace?
Go ahead.
Nah.
I think Vince
Well,
Civil, either one.
I would say it's most of them. I would say it's over 50%.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you that. My next question would be, so then are you guys saying that it's over for you guys finding somebody that you're compatible with? That for men, I know you guys are married, but I mean for men, are you saying that it's over for the men?
No, I don't think it's over for men because it's still so many women. I mean, it's still 10 men to every one woman. So a man, and that's the thing too. A man
10 million. You mean to every man
is going to find one.
Okay.
He's going to find one. See, I think it's the ladies who have the problem because he has to have this, he has to have a man who wants to get married and have a fight. He's going to find a wife. She might be a 3, but if she's cooperative, if she this and she that, he's gonna marry her and have some kids because that's what he wants. A woman will say, "Well, he'll make me tingle, so I can't. He ain't tall enough, or he don't make as much money." We don't have a whole lot of. I'm not gonna say standards. I'm saying we don't have a whole lot of non-negotiables because the man can kind of fix it the way he wants it. We just ask for y'all to be women and be feminine. Y'all ask a lot of men. Y'all want us to be leaders, have money, put the D down, be Tupac, be Barack Obama. Y'all
Cole wants a man to be 6 foot, right, Cole? Right.
So, but then I think it's an issue. I mean, you have to look at the culture. That's why I keep saying it. And the thing about it is, I really don't blame the sisters because they ain't really. It's
now
hard to do what you don't see. It's a trust thing. So I think it's gonna be like the children of Israel. We just gonna have to die out, and these few people that got it right is gonna build the new nation. I'm telling you.
Okay, if that's as long as
for me and my kids,
as long as y'all keep having
85% ain't gonna make it.
As long as y'all, that's only gonna work, guys, though, if people keep having kids. If people start feeling like they don't want to have children, it ain't gonna be nobody to rebuild. That's the thing, though. If everybody is like, I'm done, I'm not having any kids, then who's gonna rebuild?
People having sex.
So now y'all got
they gonna have some kids.
Hold on, Vince. Right. So now y'all, okay. So now y'all relying on the Pookie and the Ray Rays to have all the kids. They supposed to be the ones that's gonna rebuild the system. Is that what y'all telling me?
You mixing my phone.
So y'all saying, wait. So y'all telling me that the sensible people are like, or the somewhat seemingly sensible people are like, we not gonna have no kids. This system crazy. Okay, y'all ain't gonna have no kids. So y'all relying now on the Pookie and the Ray Rays to continue to populate society, and we want them to be the ones to continue to maintain and build society.
No, I'm relying. No, you know who I'm relying on? I'm relying on Coco and Quay's kids. I'm relying on Beatbox and his wife's kids.
Don't hang not too much on my kids. Don't want them to do everything.
I'm relying on me and my kids. That's what I'm relying on. When they come to me,
but you see where I'm going with this? But you see,
I ain't relying on them strange ones that got it from the test tube and all them and baby mamas. And I ain't relying on them. No, keep them kids away from my kids. Sorry.
I'm just saying, right? The ones that decided they wanted to have a kid, but they didn't want to have to deal with no baby daddy drama, so they went to the clinic. Like, I mean, just them too, though. I mean, just think about it. Like, y'all.
But can I say something? Because I think you're asking kind of a. I mean, this goes back to the question of because JR asked a good question. That if women aren't willing to cooperate, then what are we talking about?
You're not talking, but that's why I asked my question, because you don't need all of the women. JR doesn't need all of the women to cooperate. He just needs to find the woman for him that's going to cooperate. My whole point is saying that, and I'm gonna let you cook.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, you good. My whole point saying that was, I don't want any of the young men or the men, coming behind us to feel discouraged about the process, right? I get it, y'all. Like, I see the women that y'all are talking about. And I agree that it's starting to look like most of the women. Okay, so I see what y'all are saying. You're not making this up, right? But y'all only need the woman for you. You only need the woman for you. I'm not saying that it's not going to be more challenging for you, though. I'm not saying it's not more challenging for y'all. I do not envy this generation, okay? I'm not saying that. But y'all only need the woman for y'all. I would just say don't give up and be discouraged because of that. Because I promise y'all that the women on the internet are just the loudest ones. But there are plenty of women who have not been affected by, the conditioning. They haven't been poisoned. So that's why I say that. Like, I get it. I understand what you're saying. But yeah, I just don't want men to be like that young man in the video, right? Like, I get it. Like, I'm not saying the system is that I enjoy living in this capitalistic system the way that it is either. But I'm making a life for myself and my family with my husband, right? And we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to teach our children how to do that, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. And I mean, y'all just think about this, right? Like, I know everybody don't believe in the Bible, don't read the Bible, whatever, but I do. And when the Israelites went into captivity, one of the many times that they went into captivity because they were acting crazy, when they went into captivity in Babylon, the first time, he said, y'all get comfortable. Y'all gonna be here for a while. Have families, build houses. He was telling them to start families in captivity. God was telling them, even though you're gonna be in captivity, you're gonna be basically slaves and servants. Have children, build houses. I am going to bless you in captivity. I am going to make sure you have what you need in captivity. We are, in a way, slaves in this system. We want to believe that or not want to believe that, whatever. We are. So why get in the mindset of, I can't have a family in this? You absolutely can have a family, and you can have one that thrives. So I just don't want young men and young women to be discouraged.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. Appreciate that. Let me get this comment. I'll come right back to you in a sec, JR. Hold tight.
No.
Let me get this comment real quick. Shout out to Woodsy in the building. She said, well, based on my son's views, Mom, these young women are short on morals and have no clue of what it takes to compromise, build a relationship, and they can't cook. Hey, young fella said, young fella done laid it out and closed it out with they can't cook. Interesting times. All right, come on, JR. What you want to say, man? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to say it's not that men are struggling to, you know, get into a relationship. That's not the issue, right? The issue is when you get into that relationship, right? It becomes a game of tug of war. That's what it becomes, right? And from my point of view, I understand that, you know, the whole red pill and all that stuff, right? Like, yeah, people can see it, you know, deem me toxic and whatnot. I'm not with that, you know. I'm past, like I always say, past the control. A man having to control a woman and whatnot. No, I'm past that, you know. We're not there today. What I'm saying is, in a game of tug of war, Miss Coco, yeah, if me and you are both holding that rope and I pull that rope and you trip over, that's not nice, is it? And if you do it to me, that's also not nice. That's horrible. So I'm saying, hey, we can both hold that rope. We can extend it to the end. We can still walk, right? We can still run. We can come closer. You can pull, I can still walk. I can pull, you can still walk, vice versa, wherever it is, right? Let's keep it stepping. That's what guys are saying. Ain't about no control. Let's work together as a team. Ain't nobody need to control anyone. We're adults. We understand what responsibility is. Yes, at times I'm have to carry the load. Yes, at times you have to carry the load. That's life. But if we actually sit down and we actually try and find a way to coexist with one another to actually understand, hey, if we actually work together, this might work, then guess what? We might get somewhere. But somehow, the Queen's English is hard to understand for ladies today. And that's my second language. It's not hard to understand. That's all we're saying. Like I always say, Miss Coco, we ain't perfect. We know this as men. We know this. We ain't gonna lie. Can we be better? Yes, we can. Should we improve? Yes, we should. We shouldn't just talk about it. Let's actually try and act on it. That's what it should be. That's what I always say. Yes, women have got their faults, men have got their faults. And we understand exactly what's being asked of us. Mr. Price, listen, if you go and select a man out there on the streets and lady on the streets and you say, hey, you know what, you two together, yeah, carry out your duties, the man's probably most likely to say, you know what, I hear it, let me try. There's only one person that's not trying to negotiate straight away. That's just a sad reality. And that's what I keep saying, that tug of war. I don't want to pull so you can trip. No. Let's just hold the rope and keep it stepping.
That's real. That's real right there. Appreciate that, man. And yeah, that it's interesting, but yeah, that scenario that you just provided, I think that's accurate. Yeah, I think that's exactly how that would go. If we're gonna be honest. So no, it's interesting example, but yeah, I think that's exactly accurate. That's how that would go. Yeah, interesting times we in. All right, let me where Cole at? Cole still around or we lose Cole? She hiding out.
No, I'm still here.
All right, Cole, I'm gonna ask you one quick question. And then we're gonna go and get ready to get up out of here. I've been trying to, let's say it's right at just after 10, so I got us good time. I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. Give me your honest opinion as a young lady. Mm-hmm. Give me your honest opinion. Mm-hmm. Do you see? I know we talk about men leading and men in leadership. Mm-hmm. Do you see a man leading, or can you see a man leading? No, let's do. Do you see a man leading as bossing you or controlling you, or do you just see it as leadership? How do you view that when we're talking about a man leading in a relationship?
How do how do I view a male providing leadership? That's the question.
Does it feel negative to you at all? Like, do it feel like the dude is trying to control you, or he trying to boss you around? Type of like, is that where it takes you when we talk leadership? Is that where your mind goes, or are you just Are you just at the leadership point and him handling business and take care of the family? Like, I'm just trying to see how you see that as a younger lady.
Okay, got it. I will say in my younger years, because I've been around you all for a little bit, I would say initially, before I started doing kind of some self work, um, I may have considered uh, like leadership being equivalent to bossing me around. But now, after some time, it's definitely more providing structure. And I'm definitely, I would say, more observant now in what a person says and what they do. So it's really about like providing structure. And if I see that
Oh, do we look? Oh, she might have paused. Um, yeah, I think you was just about to go there too, Cole. I'll give you a minute. I'm assuming you got a call or something. I'll give you a minute. You want to say something, Vince? Go ahead, man. You want?
I think that's what we was talking about. I'm telling you, it's a thing with this leadership provider control thing. And I think it has a lot to do with trust. Has a lot to do with trust. I know I told y'all this story before that my own mother, had issue with my own mother, with my oldest daughter, making my plate one time, and my mother told my daughter, who I took care of, don't be making no man's plate. And I had to check my mother, and I was like, look, if she should make anybody's plate, it should be her father's. I'm the one taking care of her. And I think so many women they had that father hurt, man. I'm telling you, it's deep, Quay. I know you've been married for a lot, but I was single for a long time, and I would tell you, out of the hundreds of women that I dated, I could count on one hand how many had fathers, married, five out of hundreds on one hand. And I could count on two hands how many even knew their daddy. And this was all type of women, from college degreed women to chicks I met at the club and at the bar and on the pole. All of them. It wasn't just the hood chick.
not the pole.
It was all of them. It was the UD accountant, the Spelman grad, the AKA, all of them. They had that father hurt, man.
Whoa, not the AKAs too. Hold on.
I'm just saying it was a plethora of different women. That's all I'm saying. So when it comes to leadership, it's like an authority figure. So many people haven't had loving authority figures. Men too. They haven't had fathers. They don't know how to accept authority. Oh man, he trying to do this, and I can't keep this job because he trying to pump me in. No, you gotta yield to the authority. No, he a man just like I am. I know you done heard that before, Quay. He a man just like me. No, he's your boss. He ain't a man just like you. That's your boss. So I'm telling you, it's these families, man. It's how they was raised, and when you haven't had a loving father or a loving man that didn't want anything from you, you gotta realize some of these women, the first experience of love, a man wants something from them.
Right.
They want something from them. They want affection, sex, whatever. Your daddy didn't never want nothing from you. He just wanted to love you and treat you like a princess and made you have standards for men. So it's just, and I see it because I have a wife. She was a wife before she was my wife. And I know you understand what I'm talking about, that, Quay. Your wife before she your wife.
For sure.
And it's because the only difference I see is she had her daddy her whole life.
Right. Yeah, no, that's real right there. No, I appreciate that, man. No, that definitely makes a difference. Let me come back to Cole. I know she got a call or something. Cole, you still there?
Sorry. Yeah. So now being a little bit older, leadership to me is structure. So I'm paying attention to what the guy does. I'm paying attention to that. And if it's something that I trust is correct, then his direction is not a problem to me. I also, though, I think, given my past, I am a little sensitive about tone. So I always make it clear to tell people, you can give me direction. You don't have to yell. Like, I'm already listening because you're a male, and especially if you're 6 foot, beatboxer. Um, so I always do say disclaimer.
My man, my man, my man.
You don't need to yell. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I ain't mad at that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to see where you were at with that, let's say, because I know you're a younger lady. And like I said, I've been seeing some things lately. This is not at you, Cole, but I've been seeing some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that there's some negative connotations that have been attached to male leadership. And like I said, it's being classified as bossing, it's being classified as he trying to control me. And I'm just like, that's probably an issue, because I said, if ladies, and I said, I don't even know where that's coming from, but I'm like, if ladies feel like a man being a leader is bossing them, it's just like, what the heck does that mean? So yeah, I just wanted to see
They probably
where you
don't
were.
trust the person because, like Vince said, I think a lot of it is trust. So I think they probably don't trust the person's actions. Like, if you trust a person's actions, if they tell you to do something, you're fine with it. It's like, oh, okay, cool, all right,
So
sure.
okay, so Cole, thank you for saying that. So I'm glad you said that, right? So I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how you feel and you don't trust that man, then go sit on the side. See, I gotta do this. Like, once again, we keep talking about we want husbands, we want wives, all that. But if you already know as a woman that you don't trust men, then go sit on the side and get out the way. But see, that's not what's happening. There's a lot of ladies out here who still claim, that we're gonna be honest, they looking for, because I hear it all the time, I'm looking for a leader, I'm looking for a man who can lead me, I'm looking for a man who can provide, I'm looking for a provider. We hear the same stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But as said woman, if you saying that, but then you go into the situation already not trusting men because of decisions you was making in the past and how those situations didn't go well, then go sit yourself on the sideline. Because see, while you taking up that man's time, an intentional woman who's not at the bitter point, who still understands structure and appreciates structure, like what you were saying, Cole, she's gonna be looking for that leading man. Yeah, but if we got a woman that don't trust men at all because of what else was going on in their past, taking up this man's time, being in his face, like she's serious about being a wife, like she's serious about building, then that creates a problem. So yeah, I just take the position, if that's how you feel about men and you don't trust men and you have a problem with a man leading in the household and being the head of household and all that, then go sit yourself on the side and do that by yourself. But see, I don't see that happening. Those same ladies that don't trust men, they still want to be up in men's face. They still want to act like they really looking for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
They still want to act like they really looking for a provider, and the whole time they be basically be playing. Go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off, man. Go ahead.
I think they are looking for a husband, but they just start giving what the husband that they want. They want to provide a male. Most provider male who making 6 figures are bosses.
Right.
Especially at a certain age. So they're going to be bossy. I know I'm bossy. I take control of most situations that I'm in. That's just how I operate. I take charge of every situation I'm in, so I might be considered bossy because I'm a boss. So I think they want something, but they don't know what's required. They want the car, but they don't want the payment. And I always hate to use the car. They want the car, but they don't want the payment.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's what the problem is. Like, men understand, like, a certain type of man might know, okay, if I get more so of a housewife, I know she's not going to be probably a high earner modern woman. But if I get a modern woman who works, I know she might not be as domesticated. We understand that. Ladies want a high earner 6-figure dude, that's a soccer dad. Just gonna be at home washing the kids up.
Right.
No, he got to get out there and get and I think that's more of a problem. They want something that don't exist. I think men are more logical.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I mean, you used a great example with the car, man, and that's facts. Yep, as a man, if I step into this dealership and I'm looking at this little S-Class, whatever I'm looking at, and my man tell me the payment $1,200, and I'm like, man, I was only looking to pay
$950.
Right, $950. Then as a man, I know at that point I got to step out the way. Because I got a brother standing behind me. He already done pulled out the checkbook or pulled out the cash. He counting the cash out like, when can I pull off the lot? So now as a man, I got to step out the way. Because see, I'm not ready for this $1,200 note. So I got to step out the way and going over to the B lot. You know what I'm saying? Go get my little Nissan or whatever it is and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like I said, in the dating space, we don't want to do that. Yeah, we still want to be up in people's face playing like we serious, playing like we want something, but then we honestly, we don't even want to do what's required to have said thing. Yeah, but like I said, no, it's not all on the women. Fellas do it too. Fellas be talking about, I want this wife, this, that, but it's like, yeah, but he ain't ready to do what's required. Yeah, you can get that, but that come responsibility. What they say with great things come responsibility. Like you got to put in some work, little, you know what I'm saying, big fella. So you got to put in a little work. Yeah, but it's like I said, we playing in people's faces. We wasting people's time. Yeah, so at the end of the day, as a female, if you ain't ready to do what's needed to be done to be a wife, get out the way. I can only say it one way. And the same for the fellas. If you ain't ready to do what's need to be done to be a husband and take care of a family, get out the way. Yeah, because y'all just wasting people's time. Yeah, but that's the problem. People, they don't want to hold themselves accountable. So they rather waste somebody else's time, at least to feel like they're participating. Yeah, but the whole time they're not even serious. Yeah, you don't trust men. So now you want to put all these labels on what leadership is. Leadership is leadership. It ain't no bossing, and ain't no controlling and nothing else. So take that old selfish, independent, take that garbage somewhere else. Marriage ain't for you. Let's just call it what it is. But see, the problem is you still holding out. Yeah, you still holding out, hoping some dude will come wife you up. And it's like, but you know good and well, deep down inside, you're not even ready to do what needs to be done to be his wife. So stop wasting his time. Yeah, but the same for the fellas, man. Stop leading on females, knowing that you ain't trying to come in and be no real husband. Like, stop leading them on. Yep, then got the nerves want to lay up with them and put bodies on them, and you ain't even trying to be serious. Like, just get out the way. Go be off on the side doing what you're doing, and everybody let you do what you do, and that'll be that. Are black people useless in relationships? We can be. Yeah, especially when we making bad decisions, especially when we not being honest, not holding ourselves accountable, and not being there for the right reasons. We definitely can be. But there's also great examples of how we are useful in relationships. Yeah, we see some people out here that's serious, that hold themselves accountable, that are intentional about how they're moving and what they do. They're intentional about legacy and family, and we see the benefits of said efforts. Yeah, so it depends on what side that you want to be on, what side of the fence you want to be on. You want to be on the useless side, or you want to be on the the useful side. The decision is up to you ultimately. But man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco, Beatboxer, Cole, JR, Civil, Vince. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel, man. And shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Facebook and YouTube in the building. Appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe for all my YouTube folks out there, man. And hit that share. Yeah, we want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible so that we can move us in a better direction, man, and build a platform, man. But man, this is Candid Convos, man. We go live every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. So once again, like, share, and subscribe. But man, with that being said, man, everybody have an awesome night. And we're gonna catch y'all next Wednesday.